G'day everyone, it's Jill, coming to you from her kitchen in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. I was feeling a bit lazy this morning. I've been writing a book review for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and with my lack of typing skills, it takes me quite a while to get my thoughts down on paper. Then I realised I had my microphone and my headset set up from the GeniAus Hangout on Air that I did last night, and I thought, well, why don't I just record my blog post, do a vlog? So here I am vlogging about the latest genealogy-related book that I've read. I've got a few on the go, but this one actually kept me awake. I burnt the midnight oil and stayed up until 2:30 a.m. the other night to finish it. Now, if a book keeps me awake, it says that it must be a cracking yarn. The book in question, The Lost Ancestor, the second Morton Farrier forensic genealogy story, is by an English genealogist, Nathan Dillon Goodwin. The name sounded American to me, and the book came from America. It must have been printed there. But when I got into it, I was sort of delighted that it was set in England, the land of one of the lands of my forefathers. Before I talk about it, I'll get the negative stuff out of the way. I'm an old librarian, as you know, and so when I open a book, I go to the title page, and there was something missing. I'm always used to seeing a publisher's details, etc. And then on the verso of the title page, I expected to find more publishing details, but it didn't give me that bibliographic information. I found on the back page a biography, or near the back page, a biography and some further details of the author's previous works. But so the first impression I had of the book, it tells me it was made in Charleston, South Carolina, by the way, and there is a barcode, and it does have an ISBN on the back if you want to record that ISBN. My camera will catch it for you there. But it just didn't quite look like a real book. It looked like something that was self-published, and obviously it is self-published. I guess I've just got to move into the 21st century and realise that this is the way of the future. This is how people are going to publish their books. But I think Nathan would have done well to have got a designer, or a better designer, to design the cover and the bibliographic type bits and pieces for his book, because many people do judge a book by its cover, unfortunately, and some people may come across this one and think, it looks a bit iffy. I particularly found the dark font on the back cover very difficult to read. It's black on a dark, and the dog's making a dreadful noise at the door, but we'll just cope with that. Black on a very dark illustration. A bit more thought could have been given to that. So when I launched into reading the book, I was a bit, because I thought, doesn't look too good, looks a bit amateurish. And I found the prose on the first page a bit stilted. I don't know if it was staccato, can't remember, but there was a lot of description and it just didn't seem to be well set out with a great big space on the bottom. But by the time I got to about page 20, I forgot all about those issues. It was a cracking yarn. The story was good. Of course, I was brought up on Agatha Christie. I love a mystery. I love all those Inspector Linley, Midsummer Murder, all those sort of things that are on the telly, Poirot. So this was right up my alley. I don't want to tell you much about it. It was obvious from reading the book that the author had a very good understanding of genealogy and research methods. I think that some of the record sets he actually quoted were a bit fictional, but hey, it was a fiction book. And he explained as he went through the story his process for finding people and records about them. I thought at times that it was verging on the Ancestry, not the Ancestry, the Who Do You Think You Are TV program where things look so easy. He did make some of the research look terribly, terribly easy, but that's probably because he was just such a super duper forensic biologist. It was set in England. It was about an older gentleman who wanted to solve a mystery, a family mystery, locate a family member, find out what happened to them, if they were dead or alive, before he actually turned up his toes. And it had a happy ending. Well, I don't know if it was happy, but the issue was resolved, and Morton Farrier came up with the goods for this elderly gentleman. So that was rather good. I guess that I had a pretty good hunch about, towards the end of the book, about what was going to happen, but there was one great big surprise that came right out of the blue, and really, it wasn't earth-shattering, but it really made me realise what a good yarn this was, because it was totally out of left field. So my message is that if you get a chance to read The Lost Ancestor, do grab it. It's the first genealogical mystery I've read. I'm going to now try some by Jefferson Tate. I'm going to download them as ebooks. But anyway, back to Nathan Dillon Goodwin and his book, Where Do You Get It? Well, if you're in Australia, you can just buy the ebook on amazon.com.au. You can buy the hard copy version from amazon.co.uk. It's not yet available in Australia. Now, there is a disclaimer here. I actually got this book as a freebie. Somehow the author or his publicist, and I can't find the email now, sent me an email or a message, it could have been on social media, I don't know where it was, saying, would you review a copy of my book? And I wrote back and said, yes, hey, if you send me a book, I'll review it. So here I am reviewing the book. It arrived in the post last week. I read it post haste, and I've just been dragging the chain on sharing the news with you. But even if I would have had to pay $6.49, the cost of the ebook, I would not have complained, because it gave me a sleepless night, but a really great yarn, and showed me a bit about how a fictional genealogist works. So there you go. That's much easier than typing up a book review. I hope I've said everything I wanted to say about the book. I'm just looking at my post. I think I have. So here's a recommendation. Go out and buy a copy of The Lost Ancestor. I'll pass this on. You know, I'm into decrapifying now, getting rid of stuff. I'll probably pass this on to one of my genie mates who that I come across, probably when I go to a meeting or something. So there you go. What an easy way to do a blog post. How long did it take me? I can't see the timer. Never mind. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.